you could do before. Anyway, I can repeat it.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
So Bianca, if you can go ahead and describe when you first take Forza, what are the feeling, you know?
How long you've had the meds?
Yeah, so I think I've been taking it for about 10 days. Do you think it's about 10 days now?
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe about a week, yeah. And the first thing I noticed was after one whole day on Forza, so I'm sorry, you can probably hear my dog. He's playing with his toys, he's really loud. The first thing I noticed was the next morning after one day, so 6 Forza pills, I could open a bag with my hand. And normally I can't do that. It's very difficult for me. You know, snap lock bags,
Yes.
they snap shut. Normally I can't get that. My hand doesn't work in that manner. It's also a lot straighter than it has been for a long time. Do you remember I showed you?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a little more quick.
It was quite bad. At the moment, it's sitting a lot straighter than it has. And I'm not dropping so much as well. It's just really interesting to have observed my hand changing all of the sudden. Because this has been my problem for a very long time. It just doesn't work. It lost its way, you know. I've got nerve damage, so it's been my problem. And suddenly I can use it quite well. And then the next thing that I noticed was before I have Tysabri, the 1 week before Tysabri, I get very unwell. Like I need the drug. I get very tired. Sometimes I get migraines. It's a strange reaction, like almost like a withdrawal, but not a withdrawal. And this time, normally it lasts for about 7 days. This time I had it for 2 days only. And that was another improvement in my life since then. And then the next improvement that I noticed was like my mental state. I feel really great. I just feel a little bit more, I guess, open and free. My mind's not so foggy at the moment, which it always is. Like I said to Veronica, when she asked me to meet the first time, she said 9 p.m. And I was like, oh God, I don't think I'm going to be able to mentally be okay to do that. So at the moment, I think I'd have a lot more trust in myself. I've started making some plans with my friends, which is something I don't do. I feel good enough to do that. So it's exciting.
How long? How long have you been taking Tysabri?
1 year and 6 months. I started in October 2019.
Okay. And you had this effect of 1 week before you had already.
Yeah. So before Forza, when I started Tysabri, I noticed just before my 28 days, I would start to feel very tired. And then over time, that actually got quite bad, really quite a lot worse for me. So then it became 7 days prior to the infusion. I would be in bed. I couldn't get out of bed because I needed the drug. And then I'd have Tysabri. And then all of a sudden, within 1 day, I'm normal again. So I was having a strange reaction and response to it. And they prescribed me Ndep and baclofen, which has helped a little bit. But still, I get very, very, very tired before Tysabri. This time, I had only 2 tired days instead of 7. So for me, that's amazing because that hasn't been like that for probably 6 months. I've been really bad.
Okay. And the symptoms you described were stable in the last year or fluctuate?
The MS, up and down all the time. Always my hands stayed damaged, and it seems to slowly worsen over time, up until recently. But my nails even start, like they don't grow properly on my right hand. Maybe they will now, we'll see.
because from my perspective, I have identified 2 domains that are impaired. Let's say one is let's say cognition in terms of foggy mind, and the other one is upper limb dexterity. So the idea of the project.
My whole right side.
Okay. All right.
I can't remember the name of the nerve in the left side of my brain, but that nerve that controls the right side has been damaged. My hand doesn't recover, but my foot and leg, they're up and down.
Up and down. So if we can identify 3 domains, let's say cognition, upper limb dexterity, and walking impairment or ambulation. The idea of the project is to identify 3 patient-reported outcomes and or performance measure that can objectively assess the perception of these symptoms in people that will be involved in the study in a objective manner, because also self-perception of a symptoms could be studied with patient-reported outcomes that have strong psychometric properties. So we will be sure that what we will measure with the PRO will be extremely strong and robust, and so we will have the opportunity to understand the effect of a given treatment. In this case, the osmotin. So the idea is to identify the functional domains that are relevant for the people that will be involved in the study, and then the related patient-reported outcomes.
Yeah.
For example, in your case, if you 1 week ago, if you had the opportunity to, for example, use a PRO on upper limb dexterity, now we can have a score and compare the score with the effect nowadays of the treatment.
Yeah.
And so this will be very important.
Bianca actually was so kind to fill out a survey, a quality of life survey that we can send to you for your review, which asked her exactly about ability to walk, or I think something like this, ability to walk, and the overall feeling of well-being, things like this, how many days with pain.
So she filled it out right after beginning the treatment. So
yeah, same day, I think, or maybe the next day.
We can send you this data.
Okay, this would be, of course, of interest. Yeah.
So as Bruno, as you said, we can evaluate in 1 or 2 months what else is improving, or how much more is improving what is already improved, which has already improved. So your suggestion was to have another call in 1 or 2 months.
Yes.
To find well.
Is there, Professor Brighetto, is there a specific exercise that she can try to do today and once every week to see whether there's improvement? For example, writing with her pen, or climbing stair, or I don't know, riding a bicycle, or
there are some specific exercises.
Is there a specific exercise that we can use? Pardon?
Today I wrote a whole page.
Wow.
You said you couldn't write.
Right hand.
I know. And it's actually quite neat. You can read it too.
Yeah. She at the beginning she told me she couldn't handle almost the pen. There was a problem.
So this was. Let me see if I can find something from maybe.
So is there an exercise that you can suggest to say try to do?
What we can do, if you agree, is that
earlier, very messy, very.
That was before the Forza?
This was probably just after taking the Forza. This is today. This one's today.
Wow. Oh, this is a big difference.
That's a big improvement in 7 days of product.
And my hand didn't hurt. So my problem is I can try, but it's so painful. You know, I'm sitting there going like this, like, my hand to hurt. And I'm going like this and so much pain. And I just have to give up, you know, whereas this was fine. No problems at all. I finished the entire page.
Very good.
Great.
If you agree, maybe we can prepare. I can prepare 3 special reported outcomes that you can fill every. I will send you also the timeline of the meeting of the special reported outcomes. Well, let's say every 2 weeks, something like that. And a series of self-managed exercise. So we can identify the effect in the next week and next month.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Yeah,
using scale with good psychometric properties. Of course, this is not one case. It's not a study, of course, but this will ensure that the data will be stable and robust.
No, I wanted to introduce you, Bianca, exactly because we are preparing this study, so she can help us to identify key checkpoint. Then we can go and collect on all the other. Let's say if we know that she's improving this way after certain day, then we can get all the other to check for the same improvement at the same time. So she's going to be like a moment of reference to understand what to look for, since she just started and everything. So that could be useful, for example, handwriting, opening Ziploc bag, and whatever she can tell us. But yeah, that was the point of my meeting today, to identify a key specific exercise that you can suggest to identify improvement. Because, you know, she talked about a Ziploc bag, or but probably you take different measurement than opening a Ziploc bag. So I want her to do the exact exercise that is standard with the measurement. We cannot say as an improvement show the Ziploc bag. So you have to follow. I know, but it's not a scientific exercise that declares the improvement.
Once a week, I can open my Ziploc bag so I can write down a page of writing. And
writing is very impressive. Or probably, you know, there are some automatic exercise like touching fingers.
The reason why I have to do the Ziploc bag every day is because my dog's dry food is it's in a big Ziploc, like, you know what I mean? So
everybody struggles with those.
Every single day I open it and I can tell if it's good or not. So some days I really struggle and I'm like, oh my God, I can't get this open, you know? Whereas all of a sudden in the last week, I have no problems at all.
I can tell you, everybody struggles with Ziploc bag.
Yeah.
We need to find a more precise
for a normal
like
person.
Or, you know, for
proper
this one
testing.
that Professor Bracchetto will tell you. So, okay, so thank you. Do you have any other question for Bianca?
Gianpaolo?
If you experience also an improvement in the lower limb.
Absolutely. I mean, at the moment, I've had no problems with my right leg. Actually, because I was at the physiotherapist today, and he said to me that my right side, which is my bad side, always a problem, always, is better than it's been in a long time. And that he found that my left side had more problems than my right side. Not more problems than normal, but if you know what I mean. So like my left side seemed worse than my right side, and my right side is always the problem. It's never not a problem because the entire nerve in my left part of my brain is totally damaged. The entire right side. Suddenly it's better.
Gianpaolo, if Mrs. Wallace is followed by a physiotherapist, you can also evaluate if there is any evaluation that could be included when she is going to the physiotherapist that a physiotherapist can do professionally.
I actually forgot to send you one document from my physio. And I've just realized now when you said that, I have a report from my physiotherapist that's monitored me over the last year. So every 3 months he does an assessment on me. He how high I can raise my leg and how quickly I can stand, cognition, you know, hold a glass of water and walk
So
and
he
sit.
did it also yesterday?
No, he's been doing this for over 1 year, a long
And
time.
he did it also today?
No, not today, but I can ask him to do it on Monday. I see him again on Monday, and I can say, can we do our testing? And maybe I'll get him to start doing that a little bit more frequently.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Gianpaolo can tell you, send you also any indication that could be useful.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this case, we can also add not only self-reported measure, but also 1 or 2 performance measure measured by the physical therapist.
Mm-hmm.
This will
So
improve
I
also the level
I can send you my past measurements and information now. I have it somewhere and I totally forgot about it. So I'll send that through to you.
This
And then
will
I'll
be useful in
resend
order to design the protocol, let's say.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be interesting. I'm even interested to see that because my improvement has always been worse. No improvement.
It's a pleasure to hear this improvement because really it took me 20 years of research, PhD, postdoc, all working on the osmotin. And finally, I'm getting to helping people.
You're witnessing.
You know,
all your hard work is paying off. It must be a great feeling.
1 out of them, I really had many times I had to think that I have to trash all my scientific work. You know,
Never.
But now with the last push, probably with the help of Professor Battaglia, Professor Brichetto, and all their team, probably we can make a difference and savage all my scientific work.
My doctors are really excited too. I've told my doctors about it, and they're really excited. I've told them my hand this and this and this, and they're really excited to. And she even one of my doctors, she even said in about 1 month we'll do a blood test that we can send to you as well. So I've got that already. I've got the referral because I said it might be worth doing because I've had blood tests just before Forza, about a few weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And so in 1 month's time from now, or maybe 1 month on Forza, I'll get a blood test and then I can send that to you as well and just see if there's, just see.
Yes. And if your doctors wants to talk to us, it will be a pleasure. We really need
all the support we can get.
we really need exactly connection with
I'll
the
talk to them
expert in the
about
field.
that if they want to talk to you and
We need to expand our network of doctors because there is a lot to study, and the more we are, the better.
As soon as they hear that suddenly I've had improvements, because I never come to them with improvements. I'm always like, this is wrong. I'm sick. I'm sore. I'm problem here, problem there. As soon as I start saying, okay, get this, they're going to want to talk to you.
Okay.
So I see my neurologist is also a professor. She's a professor of neurology in Australia. She's well known around Australia. Her name's Professor Pamela McComb. She's based in Brisbane, and I see her on the 31st of this month. So I will definitely be telling her everything, and I'll be giving her. I can give her your contact information. I'll take your email address, and I'll also give you her information and. You know, hopefully she wants to hear about it. I can't imagine why she wouldn't. She's a professor, so this would be of interest to her.
Let's hope. But you know, thank you for your trust and for all the data you are providing.
Well,
So
by the time I see her, I'll probably have a lot more improvement. So we'll see.
you should. You should. As I told you, our product is dose dependent, and the more you take, the better you feel. There is no reason. They have just come out of publication from the South Korean group, which I brought them the osmotin, and then they were starting a competition. This publication proved that osmotin peptide are capable to
they're capable to influence the brain through the gut, that they demonstrated the connection between the brain and the gut.
And the gas.
So it works in the gut, but it ends in the brain.
As anti-inflammatory.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so we know it's working in your brain, according to this new publication. It was published a few weeks ago.
Couple weeks ago.
End of April. And clearly talk about osmotin that have this peptide that has this interaction. So we know scientifically it should work completely. Now we need to only prove it. Which is
still a challenge.
Still the big giant.
And I can help.
But I hope that your testimony can help convincing Professor Battaglia and Brighetta not to give up.
I get blood tests, I have MRIs, you know, because my MRIs, I have 9 lesions, the brain and 1 on the spine. So 8 brain, 1 spine. And so it'll be so interesting to see, you know, they've been there for 3 years. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there, you know, visually.
Do you know when you're going to have your next MRI?
I only had one not too long ago, so probably whenever I need it for you guys, or if something goes wrong, which it won't.
No.
There's no rush, I think, with MRI for now.
No, we can wait.
Invasive.
In the meantime, we finalize.
Just so you know, just so you know, I get MRIs for free, so it's no problem to go and get them.
Good.
Because of the MS.
Do not exaggerate, okay? Relax. There's not a good reason to have an MRI.
If you say, Bianca, go get an MRI now, I can go get one.
We'll see. Before, we want to see some more reports and more, more improvement, because the plaques in your brain are like the scar tissue.
Yes, it's scar tissue.
Covering does not mean that the scar will not be there any longer. When you cut your skin, you get a scar, you recover, but the scar remains.
Yes.
So
true.
Latest publications show that amyloid plaques and those kind of plaques are not actually the cause of the disease, but it's something that the cell produce as antibacterial, antifungal, exactly like the scar tissue that is needed to isolate the damaged tissue. So there is something behind the plaques that is causing the disease. So what is important is really to see recovery. Probably those plaques will remain, but you will be fully recovered, like scar tissue remain on skin and bone, even though the skin and the bone are recovered.
What was that publication that I was reading to you yesterday about insulin inside the cells? That the neurocells?
Yeah, exactly. They show, it's the same publication that shows that basically osmotin and adiponectin are upstream on insulin in the neuronal system and therefore control the metabolism of neurons. I will send you this publication, dear professor, so you can.
Thank you.
Very important.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, if nobody has any more questions, then we can wrap it up and maybe meet again in a couple of weeks.
So the Professor Brighetta will be waiting for the
physiotherapy,
for the questionnaire to send to
the questionnaire and to performance measure, and some self-management exercises.
Okay. And Bianca, you will send us the last updated data. And with your permission, I will send all your clinical data to Professor Battaglia, Professor Brighetta.
No problem.
So we can evaluate your case and put together with our future cases. Okay.
I can send you. I will send it. I'll send you my physiotherapist, all of them on Monday, because I'll get him to complete it on Monday with
Okay.
my current as well as all of my history.
Excellent.
And I can
Thanks a
send that
lot.
to you guys.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
your time.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
All the
Bye-bye.
best. All the best
Thank
work.
you.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.